Hey, I'm Dale Earnhardt Jr., driver of the number 88 TaxSlayer Chevrolet, and I'm here to answer some fan questions. So here we go. Right or left? Well, I'm left-handed and I turn left for a living, so I'm going to say left. Hunting or fishing? You know, I would say it's about 50-50 now, but I'm getting more and more into hunting these days. I like to bow hunt for whitetail. When we go fishing, it's usually with my boss man when he invites me to go on his boat. So let's see here. What's faster, tying your shoes or your pit crew changing your tires? That's about the same, but I'm hoping my pit crew is faster. Those guys have been working out every day trying to get ready for the new year, so I'm expecting big things from those guys. I know they're expecting a lot of themselves. High or low? I like the high line. You know, if I can go to a racetrack that has multiple grooves where if you're not, you know, if you catch a guy and he's running the bottom blocking the low groove, you can move to the top and try to find a way around him. That's always a lot of fun. Running against the wall is way more exciting than running down next to the apron. So high for me. Favorite country song? Probably Rose-Colored Glasses by John Conley. I remember when I lived with Dad on the lake, we lived on this one little stretch of road, and all our friends, we used to hang out together in each other's houses and hanging out. All our families listened to primarily country music, and John Conley was pretty big back in the early 80s. That was a great song, Rose-Colored Glasses. What is your favorite track? My favorite track is, it's a toss-up, man. I love the short tracks. Martinsville's great. Bristol is really exciting. It really confuses me, surprises me that no one has built another Bristol. As successful as that track has been, what a history it has that's not been duplicated somewhere else in the country. We built a lot of mile-and-a-halfs in the last 10, 15 years. Nobody's really tried to build another Bristol, so I think somebody ought to tackle that challenge. Daytona is always great, a lot of history there. We kicked off the Daytona 500 start of the year. It's a fun race, so Daytona's in the list. Let's see. What is the best gift a fan has ever given you? I would say one of my father's racing suits that he actually wore. I had a fan give me one of my dad's suits on two different occasions, not the same fan, but one of the suits was a suit that he wore in his rookie year in 1979. Incredible that the guy gave it to me. And another one a guy gave to me last year, one of his IROC suits from his final season in the IROC series. So that was really awesome. What a gift to get. Anytime I get anything that cool, it really sets the tone for the rest of the weekend. What actor would you want to play you in a movie? I would say Matt Damon because he's a badass actor. I think that, does he look like me? No. Is he probably overqualified for that job? Yes. But that would be who I would want. Daytona or Talladega? I just answered Daytona was one of my favorite tracks. Talladega we've got a lot of success at. Both tracks are different. You know, people look at those tracks and think they're very similar. But Talladega's got a lot more room. You're able to run four wide a lot more comfortably. When you run four wide at Daytona, it's really, you know, mere inches between each car, and a lot of times you have an accident. Daytona and Talladega both recently got repaved, so each have a lot of grip. I'm waiting for those tracks to start to age, and handling will become a little bit more of a factor. That'll be a lot of fun when that happens. I didn't really answer your question, but beard or no beard? Obviously, I've been wearing a beard a lot over the last several years, so beard it is. I only shave really when one of my partners, like Nationwide or Wrangler or somebody, makes that request for an upcoming photo shoot for a commercial or whatever. They tend to be particular about those things. They either ask me to knock it down a little bit or shave it off completely. So if I've shaved, that's why. Tater tots or French fries? Hard to beat tater tots. God, they're so, perfectly sized, easy for dipping. French fries are great. Tater tots is probably my favorite. It's rare that you get a tater tot. Cole Trickle or Ricky Bobby? This is tough. I was actually, had a little small, tiny cameo in the Ricky Bobby movie. Cold Trickle, Days of Thunder did a lot for our sport. You know, it put us in front of a lot of people that probably didn't know nothing about NASCAR and made us look kind of cool. And it had Tom Cruise in it, so that was neat. He actually came by our shop to talk to my dad a little bit to study up for the movie, so it was neat to be able to meet him. A lot shorter than I knew or thought he'd be. Will Ferrell was great to hang out with when we shot the movie Talladega Nights, and he's a funny guy. It's hard. That's a toss-up, man. You know, I loved the first hour of Talladega Nights, but I'm going to have to go with Days of Thunder, I believe. Cold Trickle. Instagram or Twitter. I've been on Twitter a lot longer than I have been on Instagram. I use Twitter quite a bit more than I use Instagram. I just started my Instagram account, started using it a couple months ago. Obviously, you can do some different things on Instagram than you can on Twitter, but Twitter's starting to add more technology to their platform aside from a simple tweet. They brought in the video and so forth. I don't know, you know, it's Twitter's a lot of fun, but Instagram definitely has its place and its purpose. Favorite retro paint scheme? Man, there's so many good ones. I'm going to run, or I'm hoping to run the Gray Ghost at Darlington for the retro throwback Darlington race weekend. The Gray Ghost is a car, it's a black and silver car that Buddy Baker and Bobby Allison drove in the 78, 79, 80, 81 season for Rainier Racing, a number 28 car. It had chrome numbers, which was really awesome. NASCAR doesn't allow chrome numbers anymore, but I did hear there's some rumblings they may reintroduce that or revisit that rule. So the Gray Ghost is cool. I ran it before in the All-Star race in 2008. Had a pretty good run with that car, and we're going to try it again. Aside from that, you know, I love old paint schemes. Anything from the 70s is always really cool. A lot of Cale Yarborough's cars from the 70s. We based last year's nationwide car off of Cale Yarborough's 1977 race car. So all of our paint schemes have some sort of a rip-off or lend themselves to some of the throwback schemes. Our TaxSlayer car is based loosely off of the 1987 Wrangler car my dad drove. Favorite eBay purchase? Oh man, there's been some good ones. It's hard to say. I guess my favorite eBay purchase would be, and I bought about 3 of these things. Back in 1982, 83, they made this toy for my dad, and it come in a cardboard box, and it was vacuum sealed, kind of vacuum wrapped against this backboard in the cardboard box, and it was the hauler and the car and the ramps to get onto the hauler. It had a truck and trailer. It had like a little 4-way tire tool, and it had spare tires and a toolbox and all this, a little fuel can. So you had this whole, you know, full race team set, and it was the number 15 Wrangler car that my dad was driving for Bud Moore at the time. And I remember that set, playing with one when I was a little kid, so when I saw them on eBay, I couldn't believe that they had some of those still around. I mean, that's 30 years old or more, so I you know, found a couple. Every time I see one that I think is relatively cheap, I tend to pick it up and buy it. eBay, there's a lot of great old, you know, old school racing treasures on there. And when I mean old school, I mean 87 and earlier. You know, nothing in the 90s. I don't really consider the 90s too old school. But yeah, I look on eBay pretty much almost every day. All right, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the Q&A. Remember to go to the link to e-file this year for TaxSlayer. And I appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll see you later.